Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm filming like a March wrap up. So this month I read 3 books. So I'm going to talk about the 3 books I read. I would have liked to read more, but 3 was the number of this month. And next month I'm going to aim to read between 4 and 5 books. So the month of April, I would like to read 4 or 5 books. So yeah, so basically I'll start with my 5-star read, which was On Beauty by Zadie Smith. I absolutely love this book. The reasons I liked it is because there was great character development. You really got to like understand each different character, and she really went far in explaining, in drawing up their characters. She did such a great job. Secondly, there were a lot of like important issues that were raised, like the racial issues, social economical issues, and I thought that she just did a really good job of talking about it in like a light manner where it just wasn't too much, but where you didn't get to understand what she was saying. So that was the second part. And then the third part was there was a lot of drama, and I loved it. A lot of family drama. So it was kind of crazy. You definitely didn't expect it at times, but she did such a great job. Like, she did such a great job of mixing all those 3 things. So basically the book is about a family called, I call them the Beasleys, but I believe it's Beasleys. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But they're an upper middle class family that lives in the US. The dad is from the UK. He's a white man, and the mom's a black woman, and she's from the US. And the dad's a professor at the university, and the mom's a housewife, basically. And they have 3 kids, so Zora, Jerem, and Levi. Levi's in high school, and Jerem goes to Brown, and Zora goes to Wellington, which is the university that her dad works at. He's a professor, and it's just outside of Boston. It's a very liberal arts school. It's called Wellington. I don't think it actually exists, but I would compare it to like a Vassar, Bernard, one of those kind of like liberal arts elitist schools. It's about the whole family and the dynamics they have between each other and with other people. I read a lot of comments, like reviews on this book, and a lot of people said that they weren't likable, that they're terrible people. I didn't find that they were terrible people. I found that they were just very human and very flawed, but I did like them. Even Howard, who was quite questionably a terrible person, but even him, I feel like we do get to like see why he is the way he is, and kind of there's something lovable about him, and there was something lovable about each of them. But unfortunately, they were very like, I think that's the whole point of the book, is that it's about people who are very passionate, and they were so passionate about what they're passionate about that they don't really see the effects of their actions. And yeah, they're just very like, they're very like in their bubble. So I don't know, I thought it was a cute book. I loved it, actually. I loved how Zadie described each character. I loved how she was able to really show the dynamic of the family with each other and with other people. And I thought it was interesting that they were a mixed race family, because you see how from the outside people view them as a black family, and from the inside they view themselves as more of a mixed family, and they view like black people with less money in not great situations, they view them kind of as less than, and they do have some kind of prejudice, I feel like, against them. And there was that whole like crisis of identity, being a mixed person, specifically with Levi. There are a lot of like really interesting issues that touch in particular mixed race families, and I thought that she did such an excellent job of bringing those issues to the table and kind of showing the experience that this mixed family can have being a mixed family in the US. So that was, yeah, it was just a great book. And with all that, she was able to do all that, bring all the mixed race issues up, social issues, different class issues up, and still purge the book with drama, because the book is full of family drama. It's crazy, like you don't expect it coming. Yeah, at the beginning of on Beauty, I thought the book was like, you know, like a literary book and everything, but it's not just that. It's also just a very entertaining book, and it's just an amazing book. So definitely, I highly recommend On Beauty by Zadie Smith. So the second book I read was called Green Dott by Madeleine. So this book I gave 3 stars because it's basically about a girl called Hera who's Australian. She lives in Australia, in Sydney. She decides to get a job as a comment moderator, something like that. And yeah, she's pretty much depressed about life, and she ends up having an affair with a 40-year-old man who is married, who works with her, and the whole book is about their affair. It's like, it's good in terms of an affair. Like, Madeleine does a very good job of describing the affair, of making it interesting, spicy. It's a great book if you want to read a book about affairs, but it stops there. Like, it's just that. It's just about affairs, because we don't really get to know many other people in the book. Even Arthur, the man that she has an affair with, we don't really get to know his story. We don't really know anything about him. We have no idea how he lives his life or what he thinks. And she has a dad also. We get to know a bit about him, but not that much. Like, the book is very centered around Hera and Hera's feelings and how Hera is experiencing her affair. And it's also a very fast-paced book, in the sense that, like, she'll be living in Australia and then she'll move to London, and she'll, like, it's just very fast. Like, I don't know, there's not a lot of transition, I felt like. So I felt the book was very, just very fast in that way. But it was a good book. Like, it was an easy read. It was entertaining, but it was amazing. There was nothing crazy about it. It was kind of bland in a certain way, because it was really just about an affair, and nothing, like, no crazy provocative thoughts or opinions were brought up in the book. But yeah, it was an easy, like, it's honestly like watching a TV show. It was good. It was easy to read. So I gave it 3 stars. The last book I read was On Conversations by Natasha Lunn. I did not like the book. I gave it 2.5 stars. It was basically Natasha interviewing lots of different authors about huge experiences that kind of affected them, and usually, like, hard life experiences that they had. And most of the stories were really, really, really interesting, and it could have been amazing. But unfortunately, Natasha, basically her hard life experience was having a miscarriage, and she made the whole thing about that. The whole book was kind of about that, and she wasn't really able to create links with the authors that she was interviewing, because she was so focused on her miscarriage. And yeah, I found it also kind of triggering, because, like, I'm someone who wants kids, so I found it triggering having someone talk so much about infertility and miscarriages in kind of a triggering way. Like, it wasn't a reassuring experience that she was talking about, and she didn't make it reassuring in any way. She really just talked about her experience. So I don't know, I didn't really like how she talked about it, and I didn't like how she would make it was all kind of focused around miscarriages. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on Conversations on Love. I wouldn't recommend it at all, but I read it, and it was hard to read. It took me so long. I actually listened to the audiobook, which is even worse, because I couldn't stand Natasha's voice. Sorry, I'm so mean, but I just didn't like it. So yeah, that's basically my review for March for my 3 books. But I hope that next month I'll have a few more books to talk about.